I remember old photographs of my grandfather, a factory worker, not a wealthy man, but someone with quiet confidence in his eyes. He stood tall, proud of what he'd built, even if it wasn't much by today's standards. There was a sense of dignity in his work, a belief that his efforts truly mattered. He owned his home, raised a family, and took simple vacations. They didn't travel far or live extravagantly, but there was joy in the little things. A picnic by the roadside, laughter echoing through a small house, the comfort of knowing you belonged somewhere. One paycheck was enough for a stable life. Hard work built a foundation for his children. The family gathered every evening, sharing stories and dreams over dinner, believing that tomorrow would be just a bit brighter. That world feels distant now, almost like a fairy tale. Back then, loyalty to a company was met with loyalty in return. There was a mutual respect, an unspoken promise that if you gave your best, you'd be taken care of. You gave your best, and in exchange, you got security, a pension, healthcare, a predictable path. There was a roadmap for life, and it felt like everyone had a fair shot at following it. It wasn't about riches, but about peace of mind, paying bills, surviving illness, dreaming for your children. The future felt safe, and hope was something you could pass down. This was the American promise: hard work with a clear reward. Today, that confidence has turned to quiet anxiety for millions. The certainty that once anchored families has faded, replaced by worry and doubt. The dependable world he knew has vanished. We're told we live in a richer nation, but for many, that progress feels hollow. The gap between what's possible and what's real has never felt wider. The foundation he built is cracking under a new, harsher reality. The promise has been broken. The security that once seemed guaranteed now feels like a distant memory. Now we're left wondering what happened to that sense of security. The rules have changed, and the future feels uncertain. We search for answers in the faces of those who came before us. The American dream, once so tangible, now seems out of reach. We look at those old photos and see not just nostalgia, but a lost sense of possibility. It's a longing for something we're not sure we can reclaim. The question lingers: can we ever get it back? Or is that world gone for good? The answer isn't clear, but the yearning remains. The answer may define our generation. It's up to us to decide whether we rebuild that promise, or let it fade into history. Fast forward to today. Single-income households are rare, almost a relic of the past. 2 paychecks are a necessity, not a choice. Parents juggle multiple jobs, side hustles, and gig work, leaving before sunrise and returning late, barely catching a moment to breathe. They work harder than ever, pouring in more hours and energy, yet fall further behind. The math doesn't add up. Costs explode while incomes stagnate, and every month feels like a new struggle to keep up. Rent and groceries rise. Medical bills threaten stability. Home ownership, once a symbol of security and progress, is out of reach for many families. People are trapped renting, building no equity or security. Exhaustion is everywhere. Physical, mental, emotional, even small joys feel distant. There's no time for rest, hobbies, or community. Life becomes a blur of obligations: work, commute, sleep, repeat, with little space for anything else. Joy and spontaneity are squeezed out. This isn't living, it's surviving, day after day. The stress takes a toll on health, relationships, and hope. Anxiety and burnout are constant companions. Despite more technology and wealth at the top, life for most is less secure. The finish line keeps moving, and the race feels impossible to win, no matter how hard you try. This is the new reality for millions, an exhausting cycle that feels endless. When people talk about quiet quitting or lost ambition, they often blame laziness, but that's a shallow explanation for a much deeper problem. But look closer. Across the country, you'll find exhaustion, not idleness. People are running on empty, not because they don't care, but because they're stretched to their limits. Americans work longer hours and take fewer vacations than almost anyone else. The grind never stops, and the pressure to keep up is relentless. The hustle is glorified, but it's a desperate attempt to stay afloat. Every day feels like a race with no finish line in sight. People juggle multiple jobs just to tread water. For many, there's no safety net, just the constant fear of falling behind. The real problem isn't effort, it's the lack of reward. Hard work no longer guarantees stability or peace of mind. For decades, people did what they were told, worked hard, showed up, stayed loyal. They believed in the promise that effort would pay off. But the payoff never came. Wages stagnated, benefits dwindled, layoffs loomed. The American dream feels further away than ever. Pulling back isn't laziness, it's a rational response to a system that broke its promises. People are protecting what little energy they have left. People are discouraged, demoralized, and burned out. The weight of constant uncertainty is crushing. To call them lazy is to ignore their struggle. It's a dismissal of the real pain and effort behind every paycheck. The system is rigged, and the spirit of the workforce is breaking. People are losing hope, and that's a crisis we can't afford to overlook. Blaming workers is easier than facing the truth. The rules have changed. The world of work is not what it once was. The old contract is gone, and people are left to pick up the pieces. They're searching for meaning and security in a landscape that's constantly shifting. Burnout is everywhere, and it's a warning sign we can't ignore. It's a signal that something fundamental needs to change. The crisis isn't about work ethic, it's about a broken system. Until we address the root causes, the burnout will only spread. We need to see the reality behind the headlines, and finally ask, what kind of future are we building if we ignore the warning signs? For generations there was an unwritten agreement in American life. Work hard, be loyal, and society would provide a safety net. Employers offered stable jobs, fair pay, and a sense of belonging. You could plan for the future, buy a house, start a family, look forward to retirement. This contract was built on mutual trust and shared responsibility. Your job gave you more than a paycheck. It gave you dignity and identity. There was pride in being part of something bigger. Loyalty ran deep, but the contract was fragile, never written into law. It depended on fairness and a belief that we were all in it together. Companies saw workers as assets, not just costs. Society valued stability over short-term profit. For a time, this balance held, but slowly, the terms changed. The contract was rewritten, without workers at the table. The foundation of the middle class began to erode. The unwritten contract didn't break overnight. Trust eroded slowly as companies shifted from partners to cost cutters. Lifelong employment faded, replaced by layoffs and restructuring. Pensions disappeared, replaced by risky 401ks. Health benefits shrank, and the safety net unraveled. Loyalty became a one-way street. Workers gave more, got less. Years of service meant little when profits were at stake. The message, "You are replaceable." This wasn't just business, it was betrayal. People followed the rules, but the system let them down. The social contract shattered, replaced by cynicism. In this new economy, you're on your own. The numbers tell the story. Wages for most workers have barely budged in 50 years, even as productivity and profits soared. The gains went to the top while the rest were left behind. Costs for essentials, housing, education, healthcare have skyrocketed. Homeownership is out of reach for many, especially the young. College, once a ticket to a better life, now means crushing debt with no guarantee of a good job. The debt delays everything. Homes, families, savings. Your income stays flat, but your bills keep rising. No matter how hard you work, you can't get ahead. It's not just a feeling, it's math. The system isn't designed for the average person to succeed. The American dream is slipping away. The numbers don't lie. In response to broken promises, a shift is happening. Quiet quitting. It's not about quitting jobs, but quitting the idea of going above and beyond for free. People do their jobs, then go home. No more unpaid overtime or extra projects. This isn't laziness, it's a protest. Why give extra to a company that offers no loyalty in return? Workers are setting boundaries, reclaiming time for family, health, and life. It's a rejection of hustle culture and a recognition that work is a transaction. The old motivators, promotions, approval, loyalty, have lost their power. Quiet quitting is a vote of no confidence in the current system. People are drawing a line this far, no further. Millions are quietly taking back control of their lives. The message is clear: respect must be mutual. The economic fallout is obvious, but the emotional toll is just as deep. Working hard and still struggling plants seeds of despair. People question themselves, internalizing failure when the system is broken. Anxiety erodes self-worth and motivation. Why strive for excellence when it brings no reward? The result: a disengaged workforce, just going through the motions. The loss of trust and belonging is profound. The social contract once gave people a sense of community and purpose. Now many feel alienated and alone. The promise of a better future through hard work is fading. It's a heartbreaking realization for millions. Quiet quitting and burnout aren't the problem, they're symptoms. The real sickness is the collapse of dignity and respect at work. People want to be seen, heard, and valued, not treated as disposable. We need an honest conversation about what work should mean. The old contract is gone. Pretending otherwise deepens the wound. We must validate the betrayal people feel, and ask, what is a fair exchange for labor? Companies must see employee well-being as essential. Society must rebuild safety nets and restore trust. Most of all, we must listen to the exhaustion and hopes of millions. The search for a new, fairer promise is the work of our time.